Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and I'll do the 3, 2, 1. I'm not going to do all the background here with us, but I am the voice, and this is
Right.
Divi Foundation Spaces.
I guess we'll wait for him to come back.
Did I get lost?
I guess I'll get this started here. I don't have Renuk's little countdown thingy. I think we're gonna fail on that. But today we're going to be talking about. It's going to be a little bit off the cuff here, but we're going to be talking about the DAO, the proposals that we have up, and some of the updates this month. And we're going to be just talking about what's going on with Divi also, in general. I'm hoping no one is back.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Add anything to that, but
let's just see.
It's not looking good there. So I'm just going to keep on jabbering. This is very informal today. If you've got questions, just raise your hand. We'll bring you up as we go along, but I'm going to talk about the DAO for a bit. Guys, so the DAO, let me just give you a little history. I think everybody here has actually been here for a while, but let me give you a little history here. About a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago, we really started this DAO effort. We really wanted to get the community a little bit more involved. And when we started the DAO, it was kind of fun because we were talking about how we're shaping the DAO and what we would like to do, and really wanted to preserve kind of the atmosphere that we had with the master nodes. It was kind of fun to have master nodes and that kind of gaming part of it. But since master nodes were such a drain on the blockchain and we got rid of those, we wanted to kind of capture that with the DAO. And we kind of created this system, which I really like, and it's very unique. I'm pretty sure I don't see another DAO like this, where it's not how many coins you own, it's really your involvement with the ecosystem that kind of raises you up inside the DAO. So we got the system where the validators will be kind of opening up new horizons for you within the DAO, giving you greater and greater freedoms within it. There's a post about the summary of all of that. You can go through all the past proposals if you like. But basically, owning a bigger and bigger vault gets you to more and more freedom inside liberty inside the DAO, in terms of what you can propose and what you can vote and things like that. So I encourage you to go read that, because we are on the cusp of actually implementing that stuff. This next DAO vote that we're going to be putting up, we're going to be putting up a couple of projects. I was hoping to get more, but really it's 2. And what we're going to be doing is the winner of this vote is going to be helped by our socials and our whatever to promote their project. There's 2 projects. One is to actually implement all that stuff in the DAO, which is the NFTs for the validators for voting, and the validator-based NFTs for proposing, being able to buy and sell voting and proposing if you don't have validators or high enough validators. All of the quorum, the website, all that stuff. So that's one of the DAO proposals. The other DAO proposal is coming from Richard, who couldn't be here today. Hey, there is a voice, I think.
Did I come back?
Yeah, you just came back.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was doing this spiel, and then I don't know what happened to my voice, so I'll let you finish.
Okay, good. And the other one is Box Wallet, and that Richard is doing, who's been a big part of our community for the past few years. And he really wants to kind of upgrade it so that there's more kind of variety in what you can do with how you want to store and hold your Divi. And I really encourage it. And even if he doesn't win this particular proposal, when the DAO is in place, he can propose inside there. And we can start aiming money towards that project or any other project. That's why I like the DAO proposal, is we can finally get that thing to be more autonomous, because over the last year it's kind of been a D. Or not even a D. It's just been an organization. Because everything had to filter through me, and I hated it, and I still hate it. And we needed to get the DAO part done, and allowing everybody to propose whatever they want just wasn't tenable with this system in place. And when it's autonomous and we've got this stuff in place, then you guys can propose whatever you are able to propose, based on your validator or validators. So those are the two proposals. And if we can get into the DAO one itself, if it's this time or some other time when we get that website and all the governance in place, we are going to be able to see a lot better community support in terms of, hey, we want to do this thing. Let's put it in the DAO. Let's raise the funds or use the DAO funds itself, and go and fund that thing. Get it done, and let people, be in charge of their projects and do that kind of thing. So it makes it more of a community-based project, as it always was. However, this really makes it easier. So to be able to propose them and not get stuck, lost in like the wall of Discord posts or the wall of Telegram posts. So it's really better to have a DAO where everything is focused. The projects are presented there. The funds are raised there. They're discussed there. And anything you want to do, as an example, for those long timers, if you remember, a long time ago, I did this bike thing where we bought 101 bikes for people in a township in South Africa. That would have been a great DAO proposal. Hey, let's do this thing. Here's how it's done. Let's raise the money and do the thing. So all of those kind of things, anything, charity, business, help yourself, help your community, help Divi itself, all of those things, once we have this kind of, let's say, template or, and structure in place, that is really going to be able to make it a lot easier for people to do what they want, including myself, including people who are like me and Voice and Neegs and whatever. It'll just be a lot better way to coordinate not just the projects, but the direction of the whole project. And it will also make it so that we're not all relying on labs to do everything. So we really need to get other projects working alongside the people who are out there. So out there's labs, there's Lightning Works, there's Richard doing his thing, there's all the DeFi stuff. Those things are all separate projects, and we really need to make everything really kind of be organized through the DAO itself. So that's really why we're doing the DAO. Go ahead, Voice.
I was just going to state that I think that what I was going to state at the beginning of this Spaces is that this is a foundation Spaces, which is also known as Divi Project. There isn't a transition yet for the naming. And everybody on this space right now is part of that community that will fundamentally be participating in things that happen. And this is decentralized. You are in charge if you want to be in charge, meaning that we all come together and we're all going to vote. And we're speaking about Richard's project, which if you haven't used Box Wallet, if you have a single board computer or Raspberry Pi or even a small Linux box or anything, I'm not going to nerd out too much on that, but he's done a lot of work in that, and he's been funding it pretty much for the last year or two on his own. And that's where these great projects come in. The point is that Divi the blockchain is all of us. Divi Labs, that's what Nick is CEO of, not Divi the blockchain, not Divi Foundation, not Divi, what we are right here, Divi Project. We are in charge as we vote. And so that's why you'll see a lot of these articles coming out are really focused on getting everyone up to speed, knowledgeable to participate in these kinds of things that will drive initiatives that will affect the blockchain. So it's not just projects. That is a huge, huge, huge thing. It's its own bubble off the top of the foundation, which is the blockchain. This big bubble is other people building on it besides just Divi Labs. It's other people like Richard. It's other decentralized products. It's other private entities. It's everyone should be able to build upon Divi. Now, the blockchain itself and how it changes and the upgrades that occur all the opportunities that will be built into it as they're being built into it. Certain things will require governance changes and rules. Those are the things that in the future you will participate in and you will vote, and that will affect you. And it may be something that you'll want to debate about before you make a knowledgeable decision. And this is the precursor to that, right? Because everything will end up being on Divi's side chains in the future. Right now, you should get in, you should learn, you should empower yourself, and you should share this knowledge with others. Because even if you don't necessarily use Ether, MetaMask, or any of those kinds of things for the DAO right now, that vote, maybe you are just in Divi. This knowledge actually transfers to other things you may use in the future. You don't lose anything by spending a little bit of time self-educating. You don't lose anything. It gives you more power to help someone else lift them up as they're on their learning journey. And that in and of itself is what crypto needs. We need to share knowledge with each other. But this is about the DAO. This is how you're in charge as a community right now.
So that's kind of the background, and frankly, I wish we did the DAO 5 years ago. I wish it was one of our first priorities. Yes. But, 5 years ago, we were kind of loving life, and things were like super exciting, and crypto was so new to so many people, and that was a fun time. And then we went through this really long bear. It was really hard. We got the DAO going. And better late than never, I suppose. I like your expression about the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best is today.
Is today, exactly.
So that's kind of where we are with that. So I do hope that people. I've heard since I wrote it. I do hope people vote for getting an implementation of the DAO. Let's be clear, though. I just want to be clear on one thing. This isn't going to be this. This is the hard part of that. Voting for it, unfortunately, isn't enough. We're going to have to fundraise too. It's not part of labs, and it's just foundation. We're going to have to fundraise for the DAO. And I have quotes and so forth, and I'll discuss all that once it passes or if it passes the vote. So there's that. But I do hope to get this thing up and running. I mean, I'm definitely going to put money into it because I don't want to do it myself anymore. So I have a self-interest for this. So that's basically where we're going with that. And then once that's in place, then we can start raising money for the DAO so that projects inside the DAO can get some funding. And then funds will be raised two ways. One, as I mentioned, and was part of the votes, we're going to sell voting and proposing NFTs. So if you have a little vote and you want to participate in a larger vote, you can just go get one of those NFTs. I don't think they were that expensive. And so that will allow you to do bigger and better things if you want to. Vote on bigger and better things and propose bigger and better things. So that's one way. The other one is your validator itself. The other, I think we have a vote that's going to, after the DAO is implemented properly, we'll have another vote about possibly changing the way the rewards are allocated so that the DAO gets an automatic amount every 2 weeks or so. But we'll have to vote that because that will affect rewards. And so for me, it's much more important when we start building projects and building things and using Divi. That's the kind of stuff that shows it has utility and people are using it for stuff. Even if it's a little community, if it's a poker game, whatever, and that kind of stuff. So if we can route some funds to it, we can get some utility going. We can get some, and then people can be saying, "Hey, I'm doing this thing with Divi," and then
they'll propose, we'll vote,
and so all that kind of stuff. It really, again, this is. I mean, I kick myself. We didn't do this years ago, but let's get the show on the road and let's do it now. This is, it's clear Divi needs some changes from the foundation side. This is it.
Yeah, and I'll defend the reason why we didn't do it 5 years ago is because we were still building out the upgrades in the infrastructure for the blockchain, and masternodes were going to fulfill that role. And it wasn't until about 2 years ago that there was the undercurrent that was saying, well, are they really fulfilling what they're supposed to be doing? Are they increasing the stability or strength of the blockchain? It definitely still had governance ability. It was found out that masternodes actually destabilized everything. So we had to really wait. Truthfully, it's meant to be. September was when we really brought in the blockchain as it is. It's now a teenager right now. We were growing as youth, and then all of a sudden now we're at a teenager stage in the blockchain, and that's where we had to wait till. We really had to get rid of masternodes and then change over to this much more superior, much stronger, much more robust, much more stable infrastructure where people that are actually participating, they're all doing a beneficial work. A proof of the work being done is actually signing in every block that they mine. And that is the stability. And we can see that in the blockchain. So we have a DAO now that's on ETH, but now we can start using this like we would have done any other precursor like DivX or otherwise, to build out the sidechain initiatives, since now that we have this stability. We couldn't have done it before now. It just wasn't in the cards as far as how it was laying. So yeah, I wish we would have done it 5 years ago, but that's 2020.
No, you know what?
When you think about the history, we couldn't.
You're right, because we wanted to do it with masternodes, and then we wouldn't have done it this way.
We wouldn't have. Yeah, we can say it, but it just we could have done it. We could have done it in 2017. Well, wait, we didn't have a blockchain.
No, you're totally right. We wouldn't have done it this way, and then the way we would have done it, we would have had to take apart. I still wish we had something.
We would have torn it all apart.
What we did is we just kind of encouraged the community to do things. People did. Remember the syrup and other people doing all sorts of stuff for Divi. The bear rightly kind of killed a lot of that enthusiasm off. I mean, not rightly. It's too bad, but I mean, I get it. I didn't do another bike thing. All those kids with those bikes, those 101 kids with the bikes, now need parts. So
now they need parts.
So, and
let's get a DAO going. I donate.
When it's up and running, I will. But during the fair, there's no way I was going to ask people for hey, let's raise money for this. We were all feeling pretty hurt, so. Or at least
and that's a do good unto others kind of initiative, right? So, I mean, that's not necessarily building out a project that provides an option or opportunity for people. That is a more noble goal. And we used Divi for that, as I remember. I think we used Divi. So we used Divi for that initiative. And that initiative, obviously, he had to convert to his local currency, but I know that he had Divi, and so he was able to buy all those bikes. That was amazing. So that in and of itself is a different kind of thing that actually brings goodwill.
Yeah. I mean, that was a fun time. We're all feeling good at the time. And this year, it's like we're all going to feel good again. I know I already feel a little bit more comfortable than I did 6 months ago. So I assume that it's going around a little bit more.
So the big thing is I think that we should stress that if you haven't read the blog, right, that's the Divi project, this Divi Foundation blog, you should definitely take a look at that last article that had just come out. Rob, you wrote that. We all had a hand in reading it. It's pretty, you prefaced a lot with, some people are going to find it hard. Everything new is hard. I don't know of anything that I've ever started in my life, and most of you know that I'm not educated classically in any sense. Everything has always been hard. It's hard the first 15 minutes. It's hard the first day. Sometimes it's hard the first week. In crypto, it was hard for me for years. It's not anymore, but it was hard for me for years. But this is written pretty pretty straightforward. If you follow it step by step, he has every step in there. You can still learn by just following those steps. I read it. It's pretty darn simple. I appreciate it. I think you'll enjoy it. If you haven't participated, get in there and at least get started.
Yeah, honestly, that article was asked for by, what's his name? The Litecoin guy, which is, it's not coming to me. I have a terrible memory. Come on, you know the guy.
Litecoin leader?
It's not right. There's another guy.
I don't remember.
So, well, it'll come to me in a second. But yeah, it was recommended by, I know his real name, so I don't want to say it. I'm not sure he uses it. But anyway, you know, 2 months ago, I was actually in Lake George, and he was like, the reason people don't use it, he was like, he wasn't angry, but he was very blunt, is because there isn't a paper or a post that says how to do it from I don't know how to do it at all. And he was, I realized he was right.
Yeah.
Because, you have to go get the Ethereum Divi. You have to sign up for Snapshot. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And when he said it like that to me, I was like, it wasn't a slap in the face because he was being, he's just being real. But it's just like, I had my eyes open. I was like, wow, it does suck and it is kind of scary if you don't know this stuff. So yeah, the thing I wrote is,
it's always scary the first time. Always scary the first time. That's just the way crypto is, because we're afraid when we click something or enter something in, I just lose everything. I don't think that ever goes away. So once you have it set, you want it, set it and forget it. Again, we have a community that is inspired by Crypto Made Easy, which really lends itself to crypto participation made easy. This is one of those things, just like early on, again, I'll refer back to that with DivX. We all had to have MetaMask.
Yeah.
We all had to have some ETH in there. That drove us crazy. We all just to get those tokens before the blockchain was built. That was crazy because you had to learn, and a lot of people had to learn. They weren't familiar. People had exchanges that they were storing stuff in, but they didn't have a wallet, browser with MetaMask or something like that. They all had to learn.
So this takes you through
everything's a journey.
Getting MetaMask into your browser. This takes you through getting the Ethereum-based Divi. This takes you through using Snapshot. And once you get there, you can start participating in it now. So if you already know MetaMask, you can skip that part. If you already have eDivi, you can skip that part.
Yeah,
so
skip that.
So hopefully,
now, if you have any hurdles with the MetaMask Divi integration, I have on the support portal, there's a link there. If you just simply search for MetaMask, there is a tutorial on how to do your eDivi stuff. So the eDivi stuff is all in there also. So if you want a second fallback on, I think my tutorial, pat myself on the back, is a little bit more conducive to just the eDivi portion. Everything else in Rob's is amazing. So make sure you look at that.
And plus, the eDivi is the stuff you want for the Divi DeFi stuff.
Correct.
I think the Lightning Work stuff, maybe. I'm not quite sure. I don't do that stuff, but other people do. So
it's true.
You want eDivi, and for the DAO, you just need one, but it's very hard to get one. And that has everything to do with fees and exchange rates and all that kind of stuff.
It's not cost effective.
Yeah, so you don't want one. So unless you want to trade it with somebody, you can do it. But the DAO right now only requires one eDivi. That's all it requires. And so this vote, you just need one eDivi. This vote is what gets into the more the bigger validation methodologies and the governance that gets you away from the one eDivi. And you don't need, in the future, you won't need any eDivi at all, but you will need NFT. So that's the future. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you read the article on the DAO. Not the one that just came out, but the original one that was out, I think, this last summer. It's in our blogs. And it really talks about, the governance model that we voted on, and it's the summary of the whole thing. I really like it. It allows, the tiered kind of things that we had before, the reasons to buy more divvies, and honestly, I really think it's the only one out there like that. The rest are buy the coin to do the DAO, or something along those lines. I really dislike that.
Maybe we can share the articles in order. So therefore, is the reasons for the DAO, the way the community has changed, right? The community, there was the community blog, the DAO blog, and now this DAO tutorial. Maybe we can just create a 1, 2, 3. For those interested, obviously you can scan through them and get to the meat, scan through everything else. But if you don't understand the why behind it, it's kind of, I don't know. I like to know the why.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. So maybe we'll post, like, if you follow the Divi channel, or one of the Divi channels, we'll post all 3 articles, and then you can get all of them. I really encourage everybody to at least be part of it, so that you can at least vote. And show interest. What happened was, originally we had a lot of votes, and then less and less. And it's, and now we're getting to the place where anybody can do it. Mostly, I think, because the voting was, should it be like this or should it be like that? It's not really a new project. And now, if we can get this thing passed, we'll get to, new and unique things that people want to do. People want to, make a mini wallet. People want to make a feature that uses Divi, whatever. It's more fun. And if you vote for it, then there will be fundraising inside the DAO, and then we'll also vote about whether to route more money Divi directly to the DAO, and that'll be interesting also.
As more and more projects build upon Divi, and those projects we support and help grow in Divi, that creates velocity for the coin. Yep. And that velocity for the coin does things to the economics. And the velocity on Divi itself can affect the velocity even on eDivi and pDivi and all of the different things that are part of Divi everywhere.
Am I the only one who doesn't hear him? Okay, I guess he's coming back. So anyway, I think
I don't know what's going on.
Obviously, more people kind of posting about the things that they're doing. This is all coming when we are able to really have the DAO in place and really focus more of our activity around the DAO. And that should be here soon. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys too. And if you're not, you guys can DM me and ask me why I'm excited about it.
I think I'm back.
So you can do that in Discord, even though I'm not there very often. But I do get I do see DMs when they arrive. But yeah, I think this is the best path forward for Car's just crying, and now he's laughing. So,
Car's just crying.
I think this is the best path forward for everything that we're, in order to get Divi back up off its knees, and really start doing it again. You guys have really an amazing blockchain. It's hard to describe it because usually people don't go down and look at the code or anything like that. But as most of you know, my background is all technical. I personally really dislike hype-based stuff. I recognize that that's how projects get lift off the ground. But if you look at what we built here, and I'm sure me or Voice or Neegs or somebody can take you through it if you actually have an interest and really understand that this blockchain is fundamentally unique, and we just need to get out there, get it used. We just need people to do anything with it. Anything simple. We'll even, we'll eventually get things where you can just plug and play, kind of like, here's how you use Divi with this thing. DiviGO is a good example of that. For one project I was doing, if you guys remember, was the fitness thing. I was going to work with DiviGO and have that be the way that people were rewarded within that platform. I couldn't finish that project, unfortunately, for other reasons, nothing to do with Divi. But there are tools out there, and the DiviGO people are always willing to help. There was somebody asking us in the development channel about using Divi for poker. He came right in there and said, "Hey, I've got tools for that." So everybody is helpful for this stuff, and we really want to get back kind of into this thing where people were just having fun with it, doing things with it, and creating tools for it and helping each other with it. That is the stuff that will get it out there, and people will start recognizing it, and also realizing that it's been around for this whole time. So anyway, I think that's the way we can really get this is really the push-off point or the lift-off point where you can get this DAO implemented. And I keep talking about the DAO. There's two things we're voting for. And Richard's not here to defend his project, which is just another wallet, basically, that opens up Divi to people who don't want to use the desktop or use the mobile wallet. It's just a third choice, and he's making it way better. So you can contact him. There's a DAO proposal. You can read it. Those are what's going to go up. If you have something you want to add in today, like I still haven't put this vote up. I meant to put it up last week. But if you've got something that you really want to get in there, just let me know. I'll try to get it in there. But I really would like to get it up today. But that's all I have to say on this. I'm happy to take questions.
Am I back yet?
My voice is gone, and I know my voice isn't sexy, so
I'm not back at all.
I'll take any questions just so I can stop blathering. How about that? Well, I don't see any. I guess we're just going to pack it in.
Can you hear me now?
I hope this was informative.
Hello?
I hope you follow through the DAO thing. I hope you guys really get involved with this. And if you need help, just DM me, voice, needs, anybody. I will help you through it. If it's too hard or too confusing. It is a wall of text, I will tell you that. But there's a lot of pictures. So, all right, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, Richard came.
Richard did come. I don't know if you can hear me.
Would you like to talk about your project? I need you to request, I think. Come on, Richard, you can do it. All right. I guess he's just gonna have to talk in yeah, Karst. Thumbs down. I'm not talking, Richard. So, all right. I guess we're just gonna wrap it up here. And
sorry, guys.
Oh, there's voice again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So.
Well, Richard's comment. I'm trying to encourage him to request to speak, but he's not. So I think
I invited him to.
Okay. Nobody had questions, so I was just going to wrap it up.
All right. Can you guys hear me anymore?
Yes, we hear you now.
Oh, well, then I'll wrap it up. I'll do it since, all right. So let's just go ahead and close this out. If you have any questions or want to join the community, you can go ahead and visit diviproject.org. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of that website. You'll see the Discord link there. Most importantly, I think the ultimate reason for this podcast was the DAO. If you're not familiar with the DAO, please go read about the DAO. Make sure that you learn and share and learn with others. And we'll go ahead and give this a wrap.